Ladies and gentlemen,
What up?
good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world, and whenever you are tuning into this video. My name is James Porcelli,
I'm Bryan Thomas, aka Thunder Tits.
and welcome to another edition of the Ruthless Talk Podcast.
Welcome. WrestleMania.
Yes, WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen, is in the rearview mirror as we are going to talk about WrestleMania Sunday, WrestleMania Night 2. If you did not catch the last episode, make sure you do such, as your boy went solo and talked WrestleMania Night 1. That full review show is out right now and is available on all of our platforms right now. Talked a little bit about NXT as well, as I went back to our old, I guess you can say, OG listeners and viewers, as I did a good, the bad, and the ugly. It was very, very torn. It was very 50-50. I won't spoil it if you guys haven't seen that video. So if you haven't, make sure before you continue watching this, Night 2, make sure you also check out my solo episode talking WrestleMania Night 1. And speaking of WrestleMania Night 1, Bryan, I'm going to let you have the floor, man, since you were not a part of WrestleMania Night 1 from the last episode. I gave out all my thoughts. I gave out all of my tallies. So I'm going to let you have the floor, man, says once you finish your thoughts with Night 1, we're going to get into Night 2, as once again, I'm going to do another edition of the good, the bad, and the ugly. You can see it right there. But Bryan, man, the world, the wrestling world, the wrestling community, the Ruthless Talk community wants to know what your thoughts were about WrestleMania Night 1, man. The floor is yours.
Not good. I'll start from the top, man. I might need you to remind me just of the order of matches, but I'm probably not even going to speak on all of them. But
I got you, man.
Right from the jump, obviously, Jay Gunther, man. Where do you start with this? I mean, I'll start with Gunther, man. And I had to go back and look this up. He won the IC title in June of 2022.
Yeah.
That whole reign, right, and leading up to that, right, he's booked as a menacing, just the best heel in the company. I mean, for a long time there, bar none, maybe outside of Roman, I guess,
Right.
but bar none, best heel in the company. He's what you want a heel to be, and the character. Man, you can even go back to Walter, right? And I do have to go back to Walter to tie this into how the end of this match, how it ended, man. Because goddamn, but just Gunther, Walter, his whole career, right? Of who he's been, how he's wrestled, how he's presented himself, the gimmicks, all of it. Only to get, to now he's world champion, and for some mind-boggling reason, they decide to, question his confidence, going a few months back.
Mm-hmm.
And now it culminates with Gunther, your world champion, tapping out, like not passing out, and it depends on where you want to start it, 5 to 7 seconds. And he fucking taps.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bro, oh my God. Again, match, the quality of the match, it had its moments. It's all of them do, right? And the performers, I want to say this from the top, performers up and down the card. Man, this is really like all kind of storyline and how this has been presented. Like, what the fuck is this? Gunther, you're one of your top heels in the company who you've booked in a certain way for years.
Mm-hmm.
Loses to a yeet, a shitty spear, and a sleeper hold for 5 seconds.
Superman Jey Uso. That's
no shade to Jay and what he's on.
Right.
But how do you book Gunther to lose like that? What? Oh man, and I can't even. I think we've exhausted what we've said about Jay and how we feel about that.
Yeah, right.
Really, I'm glad he's got this moment and this shine, but I don't expect it to really. This is a passing trend. The Yeet thing and all of it. It's just live it up. Shout out to you, new world champion Jey Uso, that WrestleMania moment. Absolutely. But the booking, the storyline, that was fucking garbage. 100% garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to the next match, New Day and fuck, are they the War Raiders? Are they the Viking Raiders? What the fuck are they now? Jesus Christ, you've been booked the last what 2-3 months. They're essentially bikers. WrestleMania comes around. I mean, the Viking Raiders came out. Like, what the hell, man? So shit, new world champions, New Day, the New Day. Um, we've talked about the tag division and where that's been. Since New Day has turned heel, no, it hasn't taken off. It hasn't been especially impressive, or it hasn't really been especially anything.
No.
But now they're tag champs.
Bro, you can hear a pin drop in Las Vegas in this match.
The War Raiders, Viking Raiders. I don't know, James. You think what they maybe we'll see them in a month or two? Who knows?
Who the fuck knows?
Who was the third match, James? Remind me. Do you remember off the top of your head?
The third matchup was the United States. Oh no, Jade Cargill and Naomi. That was the third
Cargill
match.
Naomi. Love the match. Beautiful match.
Very
Shout
good
out
match.
to both
Yes.
women. Yes, it was. Fantastic match. Shout out to both of those women. But the storyline, man. The storyline. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Jade won. I mean, so there's nothing else to tell.
No, really, no.
I wish Naomi had went over there, whether it was by herself or, as we had talked about, maybe with some backup. As we'll get into, I guess I don't want to give it away yet, but yeah. So I don't know, where does Naomi go from? I mean, what do you still have her going after something with Jade? Like what? Jade's beat her,
Yeah. Naomi's going to get some reinforcements. They're going to have another match, and she's probably going to lose again. Probably.
Yeah.
Knowing this company.
Who knows? I mean, maybe there's something you're going to throw Bianca back in there in the mix. I don't know. Yeah. But I really did love the match. Just wish I think it works better for storyline purposes for Naomi to get the win there and continue that feud. Because that has been one of the best feuds, leading into Mania, and it doesn't have to end at Mania. It kind of really just started. I mean, it's long-term storytelling if you want to go back to the injury, but since Jade's come back, I mean, you kind of just getting cooking here. So we'll see where that goes, man. I don't know if they continue it or they're just going their separate ways now. Fatu and LA Knight, yeah. I mean, shit, the writing was on the wall with that. You knew Fatu was going to win. LA Knight, man, I really do worry that might almost. I just don't. He's not going to the world title picture, as crowded as that is.
No.
So he's had his U.S. title run. I don't know.
Good for Jacob Fatu, I guess.
Right. Great for Fatu. Although I guess it seems pretty evident that the route they're going to go is obviously him and Solo, where Jacob's going to be the face. I mean, yeah, it'll work. Jacob is going to do his thing, and shit, he is must watch TV. Like anytime he comes on, his promos, what he does in the ring. I mean, the guy's a fucking monster. So shout out to him and your new U.S. title or new U.S. champion. And I guess he'll start something with Solo.
Mm-hmm.
From there, do we have to talk about it? Well, I do want to talk about it because
yeah.
I'm going to be 100% serious, man. There's no doubt in my mind. The original plan and the original booking for this was Charlotte to win her title, right? That was the plan, and I really think that because of this, and you know, she's definitely got some heat somewhere in the locker room for how she's carried herself through this program. So yeah, I firmly believe they did a 180 there and made the right call. And Tiff retained, and I mean that match. Look, at times it was really good. At times it was clunky and slow. At times it looked like both women kind of were like holding back, almost in fear of like, because I guess the real life heat and like they don't want to fuck up or actually, really do. I don't know. It just at some points it was really fucking weird. Some points it looked good.
Yeah.
But definitely right call for Tiffany to win that or retain that title. So shout out to Tiff. And as for Charlotte, man, I mean, there was two women in that ring. One was a 25-year-old world champion, and the other one was a mid-30s, decades-long professional, supposed to be the best female wrestler we've ever seen. And Tiffany, and there are so many women better and have surpassed her. And I got to say this too, and I know it's part of the gimmick in the show, the commentary. It was Cole, it was Wade Barrett. The way they talk up Charlotte still, like even during that match, I know it's their job and they have to, but god damn, like, I mean, at some point, like, you know what? We don't even have to be the commentary, and they're not going to be real. But you don't have to continue to do this time and time again and say the same shit. There was a comment I don't know who made it. Charlotte has, been in the wrestling business, whatever, 15 years, and the evolution of Charlotte. That's the thing. Charlotte has never fucking evolved. Ever. There's never been an evolution. She has been that gimmick in the world title picture every single time.
Yeah.
And man, like across the board, the commentary, the gimmick, where you're putting her in the show, all of that has to change across the board because you at this point you are taking a spot from very deserving women. And as far as the backstage and the whatever, Charlotte was the unprofessional one there. Tiffany was the vet, and she showed it, and she outshined her, whatever, and she earned that. So shout out Tiff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Main event time. Am I missing a match? I don't want to miss a match there.
There was El Grande Americano. I don't even know. I mean, do you want to even touch on that? That's
main event. let's go to the main event. Shout again. I mean, last minute injury, Rey Mysterio. That sucks. Hope he's well. Phoenix gets a WrestleMania moment. Shout out to him. But I don't know where the storyline's going or what they're doing. So, yeah. Main event time. Wow. I called it a couple weeks ago, man. I knew Heyman was going with Rollins, and that was going to end that way somehow. I really don't know what to say about how it ended until I see like how they're following that up. Because again, all this, as James, you and I have talked, it's the storyline and how we're getting there and why these matches are even happening, right?
Right.
So now you have a scenario where Heyman has turned on both Punk and Roman and aligned himself with Seth. After a promo that Seth cut a couple weeks ago, I mean, I felt the writing was on the wall with that. But it just makes me question now, like, at this point, I don't think you can ever go back and try to tell a story between Roman, Punk, and Heyman in the way you could have before what just happened. Because now Heyman has turned on both of them. And so the meaningfulness of Heyman to both of them is greatly diminished. And so with that storyline in and of itself, with those three individuals, I don't really know how you tell that story. They probably will try and probably still will do it. But I don't think I think they kind of blew that. I really do. So coming out of this, I mean, are Punk and Roman gonna align themselves together against Seth and Heyman? I mean, what? I don't know. So it's going to depend on how this goes, but it was a good match, entertaining match. I knew Seth was going to walk out the victor, and it's just how they're going to go forward. That's really the concerning part, if I'm being honest. So, all in all, for me, I mean, night one, Naomi and Jade, great match. The main event was entertaining. I did like it. But all in all, it was a disappointment.
Yeah, I used one word, man. It was underwhelming.
Yep.
Just an underwhelming show.
100%. Yeah.
Let's give a round of applause first, real quick, to Bryan Thomas and his takes.
Thank you.
Yes. So, and again, if you want to hear my thoughts, all of my thoughts are in our last episode when I went solo talking night one of WrestleMania. So if you want to hear my thoughts about the show, make sure you guys check out our last episode. The full review show is out right now on all of our platforms. Now, it's time to get to the second half.
Does it get any better?
Does it get any better?
Does it get any better?
There's hope that it gets better. Last episode, I considered myself very generous last episode. I gave not a whole lot of mulligans, but a mulligan or two. Guys, tonight the gloves are off. The gloves are fucking off because I'm about to do my best. I'm about to do my best Oprah Winfrey impression because, spoiler alert, as Paul Heyman would say, you get an ugly, you get an ugly, you get an ugly. A lot of fucking uglies are going to be going in that ugly column for this show. That's a spoiler alert.
Feel that, man. Feel
that. It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler, like freaking Paul Heyman would say, Paulie dangerously, right? Yeah, man. If we thought night two was going to get any better, guess again. But we'll see. We're going to talk about it. So let's start right off from the jump, man. This was the women's triple threat. This was Rhea Ripley. This was Bianca Belair. This was your champion, Io Sky. Damn good match. I mean, all these ladies. I mean, these are three ladies that, slow clap. Absolutely. Yeah. All three of these ladies that were given absolutely nothing, but did so much with given so little in regards to build, in regards to interest going into this match. And these ladies did what they did best, which was put on a tremendous performance. Io Sky walks out your champion. She is still your women's world championship. I know you're happy about that, Brian. As what was it? Bianca went for the KOD. Io Sky broke up the count where she hit her moonsault onto Bianca Belair, went for the cover, 1, 2, 3, and pins Bianca Belair as her undefeated streak at WrestleMania is officially broken, as Io Sky retains her championship. Before I give my tallies and my thoughts, Brian, I'll have you start, man. Your thoughts overall on this opening matchup between Rhea Ripley, Bianca, and Io Sky. Floor is yours.
Hands down, easily by far the best part of WrestleMania for me. All three women went out there and killed it. It really was a fantastic match. And if people missed it, all of them did great. But really, go back and look at Io selling throughout that match, man. It was fucking beautiful. Oh my great. God, it was so good.
Yeah.
And
you hear that? You hear that, Kevin Nash? You hear that, Kevin Nash? Freaking, she was phenomenal.
Yeah, bro, phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal, man. So yeah, I thought she had no chance of winning this. I really did, and I said a couple weeks ago I was pulling on for just for spite. I'm so happy she retained, man. I'm so happy, and God damn it, if they I don't know how long she's going to hold on to it, but don't make this a fucking thing where, like, okay, she had her moment and now fucking before you even get to the next pay-per-view, she's losing it or whatever, man.
Yeah.
Give her time to cook. Let her have a run. And because, man, Kevin Nash, dude, I know where he's getting at, and that's still like the big man era. You got to have the big man champion. Man, I'm telling you, Shawn Michaels wasn't the biggest dude, but he could go in the ring, and so can Io. And not saying that Io was Shawn by any stretch, but so Jesus Christ. But she had a fantastic match. She's a fantastic wrestler. Yeah, so happy she won the match, man. That was by far the best part of WrestleMania for me.
No, very, very understood. Very well said. I'm just gonna get the criticism out the way, because apparently Triple H, in the words of Triple H, there's a difference between being a critic and a fan. So Triple H, I guess you can say today I'm a critic for this. I was a critic, I'm sure, the last episode, so now I guess I'm a critic today. I'm giving separate tallies for this. The first tally is a straight ugly. I'm gonna tell you why. It's this build. It has nothing to do with this match. It has nothing to do with these ladies and what they did in this matchup. It is how you have gotten to this point and how you've booked all of these women getting to this point, which has been fucking atrocious. To where you've booked Io Sky up until this point, the way that they're all baby faces, the way that you have booked Bianca Belair, to where now all of a sudden you're going to have to start turning your heel because now she's getting booed because you've put her in there with two other baby faces. One of them is, honestly, you can arguably say is a bigger baby face than her. That's Rhea Ripley. So all of this didn't even make sense. You went the completely just the most befuddling route to where Bianca wins the chamber. Rhea is your champion. Just have them go one-on-one and have a badass fucking feud. Now, we like Io, and much love to Io. And again, she won this match. She's the champion. She's going to be champion moving forward. That's great. But let's face it, Io Sky was thrown into this last minute. They had no plans for Io Sky, and they decided to thrust her into this triple threat because why the fuck not? Rhea Ripley had to cry, bitch, and moan like she's some teenager at Hot Topic, and to get into this fucking matchup, guys, it's been a fucking train wreck. And if you think that I'm just gonna give a mulligan within this entire build up, you got another thing coming. So the build up and the anticipation going into this matchup, I'm sorry, was an ugly. Now the second tally, right? This is where I give my props to just the talent. And the second tally is going into the good column because this was a damn good matchup. For once again, all three of these ladies that were given absolutely to make something out of absolutely nothing. This was this matchup. Io Sky, and just the crowd was so behind her. It was really, really nice to see that and for her to get her moment and to win this matchup, which was, again, I also did not see coming. I thought Bianca was probably going to win this matchup.
I did too.
Obviously, there was no way Rhea was going to win this match, because why the hell would you do all of this just for Rhea to win back the fucking title? So, listen, we want to talk creatively inept booking. I don't think we would go that fucking low, but still. So yeah, man. I mean, listen, the women, again, much love and respect, man. They went out there and they did their thing. For given absolutely nothing, they made something out of nothing. So you can arguably say this was the best match of the entire weekend. I wouldn't argue with anybody, man. This was really damn good. All of these ladies did their thing. I just wish that you did this properly. If you did this semi-properly, I would have maybe been generous. But guys, I'm sorry. I can't ignore the buildup of how you've gotten here. And the buildup of how you've gotten here is a straight up ugly. When they're all baby faces, Io Sky gets thrown into this situation, for God knows for what fucking reason. Rhea Ripley signing a contract within already a signed fucking contract. She's crying, she's bitching and moaning like Daniel Bryan did with Roman Reigns and Edge at WrestleMania 37. Everything's all over the place, nonstop brawls and chaos, just interfering in matches. You're portraying Io Sky as like the underdog, like she's being
not even an underdog,
aside.
like just like not even worth the fucking time.
Not even worth the time, being pie-faced every fucking week. They try to do that in the middle of the matchup, and then Io Sky's like, not today, bitches, and she freaking was taking out both of them. So yeah, man, the build up to this was fucking ugly. I mean, if there was any other matchup that you would start, it would be this match, but God, man. And again, I can't praise these ladies enough because again, man, like it sucks because I mean, listen, even though for me personally, right, I don't, want to talk about personal preferences. I mean, with Rhea Ripley, I don't feel anything when she comes out. I really don't. She doesn't do anything for me. But listen, I'll give her kudos where kudos is due, man. She is along with Bianca and Io Sky did their thing in this match.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say, man. Now Io's your champion. Bianca's, I guess, going to at some point her attention back over to Naomi and Jade Cargill at some point.
And that's the thing too. Like if you're like you had mentioned, like turning Bianca Bianca heel now, you got some booze. So now you're gonna align her with Naomi? It's
weird, man. It's very fucking weird, man. All of these ladies were set up to fucking fail going into this matchup, but they said, fuck you. We're about to put on probably the best performance of this freaking weekend. And
they damn sure did, man. Yeah.
So, so that's my tally right now. So reminder, guys, if you guys don't know the rules for good and the bad and the ugly, that ugly gets crossed off into two bad. So you're already down 2-1 already. And again, the good is just, to throw a bone to the talent because of how well they performed. So your second matchup was a Sin City street fight between Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Did we go out and fight in the street of Las Vegas? Fuck no, because why would we do that? We went the most generic route possible, which is just your ordinary WWE street fight. Now, again, was it a decent street fight? Absolutely. All right. Both of these dudes went out there and crushed it. Again, was given or to do something out of absolutely nothing. Drew McIntyre wins this match. I actually didn't mind the finish. The finish was a Claymore to the head of Damian Priest through a steel chair. Through the turnbuckles. So that was a pretty decent little finish there. And Drew McIntyre picks up the W pinfall and wins this match. I mean, right call again, and shout out to Denard, light skinned Gaijin. I mean, he said it best. I mean, Damian Priest, he's going to, whether we like it or not, he's going to get, he's going to get opportunities one way or the other when he can.
Yeah. So
Drew McIntyre needed this victory. But guys, man, I'm just going to get it out the way. Fucking why not? Once again, separate tallies for this matchup. Again, first tally is an ugly. Once again, it's the build up to this match to where I could not care fucking less. And I know I'm not the only one, man. I know I'm not the only one to where all you did within this feud was that it was on site for how fucking long? Maybe a couple of 5, 6 weeks, 4 weeks.
Tops. Something like that.
Guys,
I mean, since before the Elimination Chamber. So, yeah.
Right, exactly. So, and again, guys, we talk about street fights, right? Like, does it ever hurt this company to just think outside the box and think, you know what, maybe we take a street fight to the street for once, man. Change the scenery. If you're going to do a gimmick type of match, man, it's fucking WrestleMania. Get fucking creative. This was a street fight that you could have just saw for free on a Monday Night Raw show.
Barely left ringside, really.
I mean, barely left ringside, for fuck's sake, man. You know what, Brian? I don't know if you remember this, right? And I've mentioned this a time or two. This was, I believe, WrestleMania 12. This was Roddy Piper and Goldust.
Going back. Yes.
This was a Hollywood backlot brawl. Guess where Vince McMahon decided to put this match? In Hollywood, in a backlot brawl. Like, that's the creativity. And it was done so fucking well. And I watched that. I wasn't around during that time. Your boy was, he was too young, probably not even born yet, probably.
If you ever get a chance, listen to the story Dustin tells about Piper. Or no, who was driving? Was Goldust driving the car or was Piper driving the car? Now I can't remember.
I think Piper was driving the car. Like, remember going back and watching the clips. I think it was Piper.
And listen to Dustin tell that story of like the look in Piper's eyes. Oh my God.
Dude, that shit was fucking good, man. You know, and say what you want again about the Goldust character. You know, of course, it's gotten its backlash, of course, with, Dustin Rhodes' stories about the Goldust character. But dude, man, Dustin, like, he was so freaking good. He made that character work. And it's moments like that to where, like, a lot of people, I'm sure, Brian, from your neck of the woods back in the day, like, people probably were like, oh, yeah, that's right. That happened. It was a backlot brawl in Hollywood, and it was done so fucking well because there was
cars, cars involved and shit. Yeah, I mean,
right. You got like Hollywood, like lights and freaking, they were out in the parking lot streets. So you got like streets like blocked off because they're in Hollywood. They're like backstage doing like, it's like one of those Hollywood backstage, I guess,
lots
like
film lots or whatever.
Film lots. Yeah, like that was good, man. I've watched that multiple times ever since I've seen it. Like, why can't we have an ounce of that creativity go into this, man? Why not? It's WrestleMania. Whether you got to throw some fucking casino chips, some showgirls, right? A couple of drinks and shots in there, like whatever the fuck you got to do. Like, don't go the most generic, easy route to have your simplistic WWE street fight, man, which is, again, it was average. It was average. So, once again, I said I was going to give a separate tally, and here it is right here. And again, you can say that this is being generous, but I think it's being fair. I'm going to give this other tally in the good because I thought these two performed very well for what's been given to them. Again, this is all from the talent, guys. This has nothing to do with the creativity. This is all from the talent going out there and putting on a tremendous performance, and that's what Damian Priest and that's what Drew McIntyre did, man. So, Brian, quick thoughts on this street fight, the Sin City street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest.
Again, shout out to Drew. I think he needed that win. WrestleMania moment for him. So, and yes, they both went out there and did their thing. But you just said it, man. This is fucking WrestleMania, and this is a match that you're calling a Sin City street fight, in which this is the same thing they have done for damn near 2 months, and you're at WrestleMania in a street fight. And you barely have them leave ringside. That's just piss poor. That's garbage. 100% garbage. This is the only, and not that it would stop them from like doing some creative shit outside, but I don't know where that stadium is located in relation to, say, like the Las Vegas Strip. But that it doesn't even matter. They could have still gone out in the parking lot, whatever. It's Las Vegas and it's Wrestle-fucking-Mania. That was garbage. That was
man.
Garbage.
Like get your ducks in a row. Like, make some phone calls and like, hey, can we close this certain street in Las Vegas and downtown to where we can do some creative film work for a matchup that we have for a pay-per-view. Like do something, bro, with all the
they
money.
Did nothing different than we've seen on Raw or SmackDown for the last month, 2 months.
There's nothing else different. Like, bro, like just make a phone call and say, hey, we want you guys to block off this street because, we have a street fight for an upcoming pay-per-view. We want to use this for a vignette segment, right? For a company that says that they're making record revenue, right? You can throw a couple thousands, maybe $1 million in there for, hey, let's block off the street to put on some really good television, right? But fuck that. Why the fuck would we do that? No, we're going to go the most generic route possible.
Oh, they use tables. Yeah.
They use tables. Yeah, that's great. They use chairs and they use freaking steel steps. Right? Yep. They brawled around ringside. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, sorry. Hey, Triple H, I'm sorry. Are we being too much of a critic, man?
That was horrible, man.
Are we being too much of a critic?
It's WrestleMania. That's what sucks the most about it, is that this is the big man. I can't. I'm gonna go off on a rant. I ain't got the time.
Yeah. So it's probably best if we just honestly move on from this, man. So yes, right now I got 2 in the ugly and 2 in the good. Again, just out of respect for the talent, honestly, guys.
Yeah,
that's what it is. For
everybody's done their thing. They really did. Everybody showed up and showed out. Truly.
Absolutely.
Even the ones I don't like.
Exactly. All right, man. So next was the Fatal 4-Way match for the Intercontinental Championship. This was your champion, Braun Breaker. This was Penta. This was Dominic Mysterio. And this was Finn Balor. When it was all said and done, Dirty Dom picks up the W and is now your new Intercontinental Champion. This dude was a fan favorite in this match.
All of a sudden, I mean, it really like that. It kind of came out of nowhere, but I love it. I love it.
It was interesting, right? I don't know how to feel about it. I'll be honest with you, Brian.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
because you've been doing this shtick now with Braun Breaker, to where he's now more of a face, right? You have Penta, who just got here, who you're still trying to really get over as a face as well. And then all of a sudden, again, I don't know, Brian, if this is like fans that they don't know what they want. They want to boo Dominic Mysterio, and now all of a sudden they want to cheer Dominic Mysterio. And sure, James, people are going to tell me, James, but Dominic deserves and all that. Sure, I'm sure he does. Much love to Dom. Honestly, you can arguably say that this was the right call to go with, and Dominic won the championship. Absolutely. But guys, like, what having the crowd just flip a switch and start cheering Dominic when you have technically 2 other faces from this match, like Penta and Braun Breaker, like, it's just I don't, like, am I missing something here, Brian? Like, why all of a sudden are we cheering for a heel? I don't understand when we want to boo this guy so badly over the last 2 fucking years, and now he's getting
3
cheered
years
because he deserves it. That's why we're cheering for it. So there's no such thing as faces or heels anymore. The crowd's just going to cheer for whoever because they think we just deserve a championship, I guess. Instead of to where, like, you win a championship, it's a dastardly heel, like frickin' back in the day, right? You'd be throwing shit at this motherfucker or something. Like, I don't know, man. That might be an unpopular take to say. Yeah, and again, I don't want this to be taken out of context. I'm not saying, guys, that Dominic Mysterio doesn't deserve this championship match or this title. I'm not saying that, guys. I'm just saying that the booking and the situation and how you are putting these people in the most random and the most odd situations possible, to where Dominic Mysterio is coming out like he's running back out to the ring like he's fucking Stone Cold in The Rock, getting this freaking standing ovation for a fucking heel. Like, I swear to God, Brian, it's like, I don't know. There's times to where I sit back and I'm like, even fans don't even know what the fuck they want, because this company confuses the fuck out of people of who's a face, who's a heel, especially in the mid-card division. Nobody fucking knows. So, and again, man, the booking going into this, man, was utter fucking garbage, dude. It was garbage. I could not care less about this match. Good for Dominic Mysterio. Was the match somewhat decent for a Fatal 4-Way? Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm not going to argue that with anybody. But guys, I'm only giving this one tally. And again, this has nothing to do with Dom. I want to make that clear right as of right now. This has nothing to do with Dominic Mysterio winning the championship. But guys, I can't ignore how we've gotten here. I can't ignore how weird the crowd just suddenly just turns to just cheer Dominic. And again, you can say that that's the crowd not knowing what they want, or the freaking booking, because of how piss poor the booking is, because you're placing people in the most worst piss poor positions possible. So because of that, Brian, like I said, man, the gloves are off. I'm not fucking playing anymore. That's an ugly. I'm sorry. I'm not going to ignore the booking. I'm not going to ignore this random ass shit of how we've gotten to this point. So where Braun Breaker was a heel 2 months ago, now all of a sudden he's a tweener in a face. You pushed Penta into this situation to where, Brian, you said it perfectly about Penta when you were doing this, I guess, storyline with Gable after their first matchup. And now that would have been a perfect WrestleMania type of feud for Chad Gable and for Penta, a badass freaking matchup, a non-title freaking feud, but you push him to a title matchup in a fatal 4-way, and then you just randomly put Dominic and Finn Balor in there, which, by the way, guys, they haven't won a match since the Stone Age, since getting this fucking title opportunity. So I don't know how that makes sense either. So guys, you can say that this is harsh. I don't give a fuck anymore. I really don't, because I'm not going to ignore the booking of how we've gotten here. And I'm not just going to lower my bar, because we're all proud for Dominic Mysterio. And sure, good for Dominic Mysterio. I don't want that to be taken out of context, right? But guys, I'm not going to lower the bar, and I'm not going to give a mulligan because Dominic Mysterio won the match and we all like Dominic Mysterio. And, you know, he's been putting in hard work and he finally won this championship. No, I'm not going to fucking do that. And again, has nothing to do with Dom. It has everything to do with how we've got to this point. And that's it. Brian, that's a lot. What's your thoughts on this title match, man?
Yeah, as far as how we got here, sucked. Where a couple, so obviously, and this was a face turn for Dom. I mean, whether that was planned for him to turn face or not, he's a face now. Like he's a face. So I have mixed emotions about it, because I do think that was the right call for Dom to win that. I really do, as far as how we got there and just who's involved in the match. Obviously now this is, with what happened between him and Finn in there, this is the end of the Judgment Day. And so I expect them to feud, for the title, whatever. Are they going to still involve Penta in that? Maybe, but I don't think Braun's going to be involved in it. I don't know what they're going to have him go to, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be in the IC title picture.
And that's the problem too, Brian, is that, like, okay, Dominic won this championship, great, we want to praise it, but like, what now? Like, so Dominic is clearly going to be a face because the dude got the most. He got probably the biggest face reaction out of this entire weekend, and you have two other, and you technically have two other faces, or one face and a tweener, if you want to be fair, I guess. So, like, in Braun and Penta, like, so what are you doing with them now, to where you were just trying to get them somewhat over as faces, right? With Braun Breaker and his dog barking, and with Penta, who just got here, you're trying to book him as a face. And now, because of the reaction that the fans get, you have no choice but to turn this motherfucker face now. So, like, this situation,
and I think even that the fan reaction, it probably was in part, here's what else. This is what I like about how Dom got here, and just that moment overall, where I loved it. And
I loved it for him.
We can't get. I'm going to save this until Wednesday. But Karrion Kross made a promo. I'm not going to get into it. But
oh my god,
Dom. Think about where Dom started, right? And how he's grown and evolved. I just meant evolved Charlotte Flair, and how he's evolved over the years. That's what was beautiful about it. And we want to talk about WrestleMania moments. Most of them are, to a large degree, scripted, right? They know they're going to win. They know they're going to have that moment. What happened with Dom and him running back to the ring, like, that's a WrestleMania moment. That's something nobody expected that. Dom did not expect to get cheered like that. And him running back out and just having that moment, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Dom. I no, the booking sucked. To get there. I imagine now, and Dom's been talking about, adding a member. So maybe there's somebody coming alongside Dom. So yeah, we'll see how he does as a face. But yeah, I'm really happy for Dom, and I thought that was the right call for him to win. So
yeah. No, I mean, again, once again, man, I do want to give Dominic his flowers too, because, like I said, he has been doing, again, he's evolved tremendously, going from just being known as just Rey Mysterio's son to now being his own character, his own person, which is great. But man, and I would praise this more, man, if there was if there was actual care and effort in turning him heel, right, or turning him face, excuse me, and you weren't blurring the lines, and you weren't like giving Penta now just. You're not just flatlining Penta's booking now, like, because what the hell is Penta doing now? Now that Dominic is technically your biggest top face in the mid card division now, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It makes no sense. Like the timing of how, whether it's the fans just not knowing what the fuck to do anymore, like whether they just don't care. We're just gonna just cheer for anybody because this company doesn't care about booking faces and heels anymore. Let's just cheer for everybody and say that they fucking deserve a championship. It's just, and again, I hate the word deserving. I'd rather use the term earned than anything really. But so yeah, man, that ugly is in the ugly column. It's going to stay in the ugly column, man. So again, much love to Dominic. Again, I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. So
yeah, I mean, it's obviously a Judgment Day feud, and that's where those two are going to be, Finn and Dom, obviously.
Finn and Dom,
but
of course, right. I mean, they'll do that, I guess. Maybe. I mean, again, you mentioned Karrion Kross, right? Much love to Karrion. If you guys haven't just seen his promo that he's cut, that's really, taken the wrestling world by storm over the last 12 hours, bro. Like this. We'll get into Karrion Kross another day.
Let's save that for Wednesday, man, because I want to get into that one. Yeah,
we'll save that for another day. Absolutely. So again, shout out to Karrion Kross.
Absolutely.
Follows Ruthless Talk now on
you, sir.
On Instagram.
Thank you,
man. Shout out to Karrion Kross, man. Much love to the dude, man. Absolutely. After giving him much praise from our last Raw review, which he saw, he liked, and he's now is a follower of the Instagram page of Ruthless Talk. So hey, much love to Karrion Kross.
Appreciate it.
Love, man. Freaking awesome. That made my day, seriously. So much love to him. All right, man. This next matchup was an open challenge, I guess, for Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes out there. I'm pretty sure these are like the trunks, like the colorway that he wore in his first WrestleMania ever. I'm pretty sure that I saw from like photos on social media and Twitter, like doing throwbacks, like, oh, this is the same type of colorway he did when he first came onto the scene in pro wrestling in WWE. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So Randy Orton comes out, I guess, what did he mention? In his boots and his ring gear and his baby oil, fucking like baby oil and shit. So he's out there, he makes the challenge, he asks somebody to come out, and it was none other than this man.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yes, Joe Hendry, your current TNA World Champion. Got a really good reaction, by the way. So, let me speak about that, Brian, first off. I actually love this decision for it to be Joe Hendry.
Me too.
I'm not going to lie. It was either Joe Hendry, right? Or it was a Nick Aldis. And obviously with Nick Aldis, with his back injury, right, with his recent injury history, within being an in-ring competitor, obviously it wasn't very likely because of it. So if you're not going to go the Nick Aldis route, you can do the Joe Hendry route. Hell, I would have taken like a Trick Williams or somebody in NXT. You could have done that too. What you could not have done was do like a Solo or a Carmelo Hayes, or better yet, honestly, Brian, I wouldn't even done an Aleister Black or a Rusev. I'll be honest with you. I would.
Yeah, me neither.
Save that for Monday Night Raw and for the SmackDown post Mania, which we are pretty much expecting. By the way, those two to debut. By the way, probably. I guess they're going to call him Aleister Black again. Aleister Black will probably debut on SmackDown because of the vignette, recent vignette video package, which holds up the date April 25th, which is going to be the SmackDown after Mania. So that's when Malachi Black or Aleister Black will make his re-debut in WWE. And I guess Rusev is going to make his re-debut on Raw, since they're going to be on separate brands, I suppose. So that's what it should be. So I'm glad they didn't go that route. Joe Hendry, this was no harm, no foul, man. This is what you would pop for. Like, this makes sense.
Joe Hendry was another really bright spot of Mania. Just you have nothing. The unfortunate shit happens. That was perfect.
Absolutely. Now, again, I don't know if this is also another sign to where, and we've mentioned about TNA, and eventually they're going to be in the process of selling, or already pretty much in the process of selling. This is probably, Brian, another prime example that WWE is going to be buying TNA probably in the foreseeable future. They've already bought AAA right? Lucha
Yeah,
Libre,
yep.
AAA.
Just fought AAA. Yep.
Freaking, in the words of Goldberg, right? TNA, you're next, pretty much, right? So that's kind of, you guess it'd say it's kind of evident, or at least, it's starting to come across that way. But yeah, man, listen, the match was the match, I suppose. I mean, it was entertaining. I mean, Joe Hendry didn't last very long, maybe a couple of minutes. Joe Hendry did like his signature like face pose to the camera, and then just out of nowhere, just out off the screen, freaking Randy Orton hits the RKO out of nowhere and pins Joe Hendry for the 1-2-3. So I love that spot. And then afterwards, like the mutual respect to Joe Hendry, like he's like a little toddler. Oh, good job out there, kid. Right. And that's where I'm kind of like, all right, man, like this dude's a champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not like do like the little brother type of shtick. So like, oh, nice try there, kiddo. Like, come on now, man. He's a champion in another company. Like, and that's the thing too, right? It's just like, that's where you question how like one-sided this relationship with TNA and WWE truly is. To a certain degree, to where like Joe Hendry, he kind of just in WWE's eyes, man, he just comes across, at least the way the last 2 times he's been booked, just kind of comes across as like I don't want to say comedic like gimmick, but like he's not really taken as a serious in-ring performer. At least, I mean, granted, he was never going to win this matchup, nor should he. But you would think like, oh, maybe he would have lasted another maybe minute or two. But still, man, it was still a really cool moment. Again, this was the right person to put in there. And then so he gives Randy Orton gives Joe Hendry another RKO, even post handshake, and then he does like the Joe Hendry pose, but he does his own pose as like the camera zooms in, and Randy Orton does his like pose. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
where he does the turnaround and shit. So look, man, listen, Brian, I'm looking for anything to be fucking entertained. So fuck it. At this point, this gets a good for me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking for anything. You can say that I'm accepting the bare minimum, but guys, for a show that has been so fucking bad from just Saturday and from last night, like at this point, I'm looking for some ounce of good. So at least you got a decent surprise with Joe Hendry, got a decent reaction. No harm, no foul, really. I mean, you can argue where you didn't have to make him look like the little brother status of like, oh, good job, kid thing. I can understand that. But overall, this was no harm, no foul. And an audible had to be called, and Joe Hendry was your audible. So, Brian, any thoughts about this at all? Randy Orton and Joe Hendry?
Yeah, I don't have much to add to it. I mean, it was, last minute thing because of unfortunate circumstances. And that was perfect. It was entertaining. Like you said, no harm, no foul. And I don't know. Obviously Orton is now, going to have to find another storyline opponent, whatever. So, but yeah, for that night, that was perfect. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, next matchup, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I'm not even going to waste any time here. Putting this in a certain column, that's a fucking ugly. I don't need to really go further in depth in regard to this man. Logan Paul wins this match. If anybody gives a fuck, really. Karrion Kross was out there. I guess he somewhat cost Styles this match. Logan Paul does his signature punch, his top hand punch to AJ Styles, and then hits another finishing move. I forget what it's called. I really don't fucking care, guys. I didn't care about this match.
Is it the pulverizer?
Whatever the fuck it's called, I guess, right? Whatever it is, he hits it and he wins this matchup, guys. I mean, guys, you want to talk about the most random fucking matches. This is it right here. I mean, granted, yes, maybe for a Raw or SmackDown, this would have been a decent matchup. But guys, there was no build. There was nothing. They didn't even try to give this anything. Guys, what else? Where else in these columns would you really think that I would put this into if I'm really being honest and truthful with you, man? The answer is in this fucking ugly column. This was fucking ugly. This match was no better than a Raw match or a SmackDown match. The matchup wasn't that great. Karrion Kross was involved. Again, we'll save some Karrion Kross talk for our next episode. Again, he cut a tremendous freaking promo that again has been on social media all over today. So Karrion Kross was involved. I guess that can lead to a Kross versus Styles feud. I mean, you already did the matchup to get to this fucking match. So guys, oh, Brian, help me, man. I mean, I've already given my tally, bro. So your thoughts? I have no more fucking words. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and I had said this a couple weeks ago. I mean, the best I'm hoping to come out of this is something between Styles and Cross. But like you said, we've already seen the match, so I don't know. I didn't give a shit about the match. I don't care that he won.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, I hope something. I hope there's something between Styles and Cross. What that might be, who knows? But yeah.
Moving on.
Yep.
Up next, this was the women's tag titles. This was your champions Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Lyra Valkyria. Keep in mind, this is your IC women's title holder. Just want to, again, just clarify that to everybody. And a returning Becky Lynch. Yes, Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria win this matchup, and they are your new women's tag titles. Once again, I'm not even going to hesitate or waste any time. That is a straight up ugly. Like I said, man, I'm Oprah Winfrey today, man. Everybody's getting a fucking ugly because I've had enough with this fucking with this company giving me less and less of a quality fucking product, man. Now listen, good to see Becky Lynch to a degree, right? Much love to her, much love to Liv Morgan, much love to all these ladies. It was a decent matchup, but guys, tell me you don't give a shit about this IC women's title without telling me you don't give a shit. And remember, Brian, all the talk, let's bring in a women's mid-card title. Like, that's going to do fucking anything to this women's division. And guess what? We were both fucking right once again, as well as many other people, of course, that I'm sure have criticized this title or this idea of creating a mid-card women's title because they were booked no fucking better than the title was even formed beforehand. And Lyra Valkyria in this title, it's more of an anchor than it is helping her catapult to superstardom, to where she's on WrestleMania and she's your champion and she's involved in a match that has nothing to do with her fucking title. Guys, where the fuck do you really think that I'm going to put this tally into? Seriously. And what, Becky, it was a nice little surprise. Okay. They win tag titles against Liv and Raquel. Wouldn't surprise me, Brian, if like they just immediately put it back onto Liv Morgan and Raquel probably in the near future. They could do that on Monday Night Raw. Maybe they do that the week after. Who the fuck knows? I don't see those two holding on to those titles anytime soon, really. So guys, like, again, you're showcasing tag titles, which nobody fucking cares at all. Again, good to see Becky. I don't know what Becky Lynch and her beating Liv Morgan, a woman who's been killing it this entire year. She should honestly, if I had the booking pen, Liv Morgan would have been walking into this event as your world champion, by the way. So guys, like, again, man, I have no more words because this company continues to leave me speechless. But Brian, what are your thoughts, man, if you have any, with this women's tag title match?
Hot garbage, man. You had mentioned the IC title. I'll say the same thing about the tag team titles. I mean, Liv and Raquel, maybe they're not lighting the world on fire, but they've been holding their own, doing decent. There's really no reason to take the tag titles off of them.
No.
So who do you give them to? Your IC title your IC champion.
Right.
And Becky Lynch. Do you think Becky Lynch is not going to be in the world title picture in 2 months? Mm-hmm. and this is the part that sucks the most for me. Who's been putting into work? Bayley. You take Bayley out and put Becky
out. Yeah.
Come on, man. So yeah, you take Bayley out. You take the titles off of Liv and Raquel, who have been doing fine, and you put them on Becky Lynch and your Intercontinental Champion. All across the board, it sucks.
So, yeah, man, absolutely. No more.
And great to see Becky. Welcome back. But no, it sucked.
Once again, moving on. Let's just jump into this main event, man. Oh, man, just when you think it gets worse, but it just continues to get fucking worse. James, Cena and Cody, really? It gets worse? Oh, yes, guys, it gets fucking worse. So, the main event. Let's just peel the Band-Aid off. Let's talk about it. This was your main event of WrestleMania Night 2. This was your challenger, John Cena, versus Cody Rhodes, your champion. This match is what we pretty much expected it would be. It was a very slow-paced match, a very John Cena safe type of match. And let's face it, I mean, this dude is well almost into his 50s. This dude has a lot of part-time projects with Hollywood and such, so they wanted to play it safe. So they went the really slow-paced route to where Cena is beating down Cody with just faces, punches, with freaking shoulder tackles and kicks, really slow pace, mocking the crowd, very slow pace and all, which to a degree, I don't mind these types of matches at all.
No.
But so then they try to pick it up. There was a fall. You want to talk about false finish galore. This was this match. I think it was almost halfway into this match. Cena's already hit like 4 AAs. And Cody Rhodes is kicking out of all of them like he's also fucking Superman. I get it. He's your champion. He's your top face of the company. Right. It's somewhat believable, but still, like, not even halfway into the fucking match. And you're doing all these false finishes. It's so weird. But they went the safe route. I don't know if you know this, Brian, or not, but, like, again, this is just like a side thing, but John Cena is like so loud when he's calling certain spots. Like he legit yells it out. He yells out. You can hear him like mouth it out because he's so loud. He's like, hit me. He's like, hit me again. And freaking Cody hits him. Pretty much Cena was constructing, or he was orchestrating this entire match. I guess that shows how much respect Cody even has for Cena.
I would expect he would have, yeah.
Obviously. I mean, because usually Cody would be calling these types of main event matches as of late, but because of respect for Cena, it was all Cena. Now you would think like it would be 50-50 at least, like, hey, I'll call some spots, you call some spots. This was all Cena's bidding, I guess. I mean, the way that you saw that they were hitting the spots and doing everything. So that I thought was kind of interesting, but not shocking. So let's just get to the end of this matchup, man. The end of the matchup, Travis Scott, not The Rock, Travis Scott, a hip-hop recording artist, Travis Scott. He comes out for what feels like 8 minutes, like he's the fucking Undertaker. Takes him 10 fucking years to get to the ring. He's got the hardcore championship on. Finally, after playing in traffic and twiddling my thumbs for several minutes, I come back and he finally gets to the ring. And he raises John Cena's hand. They're gloating to the crowd. And Cody Rhodes hits a crossroads. He's pinning Cena. Travis Scott pulls the ref out of the ring. And I'm thinking, like, DQ? Like, is this just all of a sudden like a no DQ match? So even that didn't really even make sense. So all of a sudden this was like, you knew it was going to be somewhat overbooked, but this doesn't really make sense. Now that's where it really, Brian, where it went off the rails. Obviously with Travis Scott, of course, coming out, but still that spot alone, it's just like, you would be ringing the bell. It's just like, you were knocked on your ass that hard to where you forgot to ring the fucking bell. It's just, guys, I'm not overthinking it, guys. I'm just being honest.
No,
it's fucking weird. It's so
like he wasn't knocked out or anything like that. He just got pulled out.
It was very weird. But Cody would take out Travis Scott off the apron, and then Cena has the title. He's trying to take out. The referee is also knocked out, by the way. Forgot to mention that. He's also knocked out in this match. Cena's trying to hit the championship over Cody Rhodes. He turns around and, Cena stops in his tracks, and now he's pleading with Cody. Cody's like hoisting up the championship. He wants to hit him, but because he's his hero, he can't do it. And he decides not to do it. Frickin' John Cena kicks him in the how you doing? Frickin' Lowe's blows him. I mean, frickin' we've had a lot of nut shots this weekend, including NXT.
Right.
If you know NXT from the Tony D'Angelo feud, you know what I'm talking about. And of course the Paul Heyman stuff. And now you got this shit. So low blow, and then Cena goes for the AA. The referee gets back onto his feet, goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a new WWE Undisputed Champion, and that is John Cena, who wins his 17th WWE World Championship, an all-time record in WWE history as the end of the show. You're thinking there's still got to be something, right? Still something, a surprise, somebody comes out, a confrontation. Guys, Travis Scott gets back into the ring. He hoists up John Cena's hand. John Cena hoists up this championship. Cody Rhodes is up on the ring or on the rampway, sulking at the rampway, similar to what John Cena did when he faced The Rock, by the way. That was like WrestleMania 28. That similar type of scene. And guys, we go off the air. Got Brian, what did the fuck did we just watch? You're telling me that over what? Oh, but by the way, Stone Cold announced attendance numbers, by the way, saying that they're sold out. Brian, I never heard a sellout to where they had a sellout yet, like last night, the day prior, and they had another sellout with less people. This fucking company thinks.
Oh, was it? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
Did it? Was that?
They said the sellout from Saturday night was like 61 some odd thousand. I guess they also sold out, but with more people. So, like, what the get the fuck out of here, man. This fucking company, they make up their fucking numbers. That's hilarious. That's bad in itself, right? Guys, man, I mean, look, I want to acknowledge the good, and because there's a lot of ugly to get to, but I do want to say the good for this match is John Cena winning this matchup and winning his 17th world title. It sucks that it had to happen in this just bizarre fucking fashion in a way to where it's almost tarnished because of how horrible this fucking shit was. I mean, you want to talk about just one of the worst, arguably one of the worst WrestleMania main events that I've ever seen. It's up there. I mean, this was so
for the anticipation and the time and the time, you know, of what we knew was coming and Cena's last. Yeah.
Right. And I'll get to more of your thoughts, Brian, in just a second as we'll wrap things up here. But so guys, like, we're anticipating something, right? We're thinking The Rock, you're thinking Paul Heyman, you're thinking Seth Rollins, who just had even though it doesn't really make sense, the matchup itself that he was in didn't even make sense, but it was probably the only thing that's holding any weight in this company, I guess, now. Because now, guys, without The Rock, right? The Rock, you would have thought was going to show up tonight, because now WWE, it's like they're nothing more than a side piece to this guy's fucking schedule. Because at some point, guys, like, you would think WWE executives, Triple H, they got to be like, listen, dude, we get it. Like, you're the head honcho, you're the guy with TKO, but we got to know, man, are you in or are you fucking out? Because if you're out, man, then we got to come up with a better fucking audible than Travis fucking Scott. Again, much love to the dude. I actually like his music. I actually don't mind his music. He's a good artist. Much love to the dude. It's not everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. But for you to do that, right? Because, guys, this entire situation has evolved around one person, right? And that's The Rock. So without him, how does anything make sense anymore at this point? Because if he's not at WrestleMania, guys, what else? What are we doing and going from here? Now, granted, Backlash is coming up this May. It's in St. Louis. You're most likely going to see probably John Cena and Randy Orton. That's probably going to be, again, I haven't seen Monday Night Raw. I haven't seen anything, but don't be shocked if that's probably what they're going to try to sell you is Randy Orton and John Cena, because it's in St. Louis for Backlash. That's probably the trajectory for John Cena.
Is he from St. Louis?
It's in St. Louis, Randy Orton, who of course is from St. Louis. Where Backlash is going to be in. So that's the perfect timing, I guess, to do a John Cena, Randy Orton one-on-one matchup. So again, haven't watched Raw. I don't know, but wouldn't shock me if that's the case. But guys, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I really was hopeful, and I'm the fucking moron that I was hopeful that this show would be somewhat better than night one. Guys, it's arguably was just as bad. I mean, matches overall through the night were fine. Everybody did well for what's been given to them with absolutely no booking or creative effort. But guys, this main event, there's no fucking excuse with how piss poor it was. The matchup was horrible. It was absolute dog shit. And the fact that you don't even, The Rock doesn't show up to where he revolves around everything within this storyline. And without him, what do you have? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing here now? What are we doing with Cena? What are we doing now with Cody? What is going on here? Nothing makes sense now because The Rock just wants to show up whenever the fuck he wants to show up now at this point. So, Brian, I've wasted enough time talking. I'm just going to give out my tally. I'm not giving one tally, or I'm not giving two tallies. I'm giving out 3 tallies, and all of them are in the fucking ugly.
Suck.
I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Brian, go ahead, man. I've said enough. What are your thoughts?
Oh man, you know what? I feel like the typical wrestling moron too. Like I should have pumped my brakes and knew better. Like when I said, John Cena coming out there turning heel and now, hell yeah, man, this is WrestleMania. Wrestle fucking Mania. And it was Cena should have won the match. Absolutely. Absolutely. Should have won the match. Man, I don't know with creative. And I don't with John Cena and the storyline, right? Like we go back to a few weeks ago where he was like, yeah, I'm not changing my look. I'm not changing my gimmick or my song. I love it, right? And now I'm wondering if this is going further into that with even The Rock of like, yeah, we're not giving you, The Rock's not here, whatever. But however, this is Wrestle fucking Mania. That you can't use that story, that part of it at Wrestle fucking Mania, man. So yeah, for this night 2, your main event, the last thing you see is Cena and Travis fucking Scott. I'm sorry. Nah, that ain't cutting it, dude. And no, I am not in. I don't know Travis Scott's music. I'm not obviously from that generation.
Right.
I mean, I know he was the guy that had the song for WrestleMania. And first of all, let's talk about him to begin with. Like, what the fuck is this shit? He comes out there. What was it at? Was it at the Elimination Chamber with Jay? He comes out there with Jay and is kind of like hyping Jay up, right? And then we don't see him until he comes out with The Rock.
That was the debut show on Netflix when Travis Scott.
Oh, that was the debut show. Okay, gotcha.
Drew McIntyre, yeah.
Yeah, so he does that. Then we don't see him until he comes out with The Rock, and we're like, okay, he's got the theme song to Mania, but why the fuck is he inserted in the storyline? What the fuck is this shit? And it's not for what it's. We talk about like a Logan Paul, right? Bad Bunny, and how well or how quickly they've adapted, and it looks believable. That is, Travis Scott has none of that at all. So when you come out there at Wrestle fucking Mania and take 8 minutes to walk down the fucking entrance because you don't know what the fuck you're doing, right? This isn't a guy like, great, he's a star, whatever. This is not what you do. And it is clear you do not know what the fuck you're doing.
Mm-mm.
And to have him inserted in there, you go back to like, you can't throw a working punch, and that's evident from what you did to Cody Rhodes. And it fucks shit up. It slows it down. It fucks it up. It makes it look bad. And this is WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Fuck all that. I don't care who booked it. I don't care if it was Triple H. I don't care if it was The Rock or Cena or whatever. That shit for WrestleMania, garbage. 100% garbage.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head, man. Guys,
great Cena won. Great, he should have won. He should be champion.
Right,
but everything other than that, Travis closing WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, man. I feel you, bro. Listen, I'm gonna reveal my tallies, man, as we're gonna wrap shit up here. There you see it is right there. You could see all of those uglies guys was crossed off into 2 bads. I'm going to zoom in. Like, your eyes are not deceiving you. That's 16 bad guys. I told you, bro. I'm not playing around, dude. That is fucking. That's pretty fitting.
That was
though.
a bad
That's
WrestleMania. It
that's
really
pretty
was.
fitting. That's pretty. That's as honest as fair as I can be, guys. I mean, you want to talk about an honest and fair review? There it is, right there. And if you want to combine both nights from my other review from night 1, you have a total of 9 goods. This is for both nights of WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. You have 9 goods and 22 bads. I mean, you want to talk about a lopsided freaking WrestleMania. This was it, bro.
Yeah, man.
Jesus
so
Christ,
disappointing. Man. So disappointing, man.
Yeah, I mean, guys. I mean, this is what I mean, man. And again, Triple H, listen. You know, you want to sit there and you want to tell fans to stop being a critic, right? You want to sit back and have people just sit back and enjoy the product, right? To where, you know, you're looking around and saying like, oh, come to my Hall of Fame. Why is nobody showing up? Why is the arena not sold out? Well, because your bitch ass told everybody.
Because Travis Scott's closing WrestleMania, asshole. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you make baffling booking decisions. Yes, like Travis Scott closing out Monday. Travis Scott is your last visual, along with John Cena holding on to his title. That's the last visual you have of WrestleMania, guys. And you guys wonder why that I criticize Triple H, I criticize this product the way that I do. And yes, do you want to also criticize The Rock for, I guess, holding WWE hostage?
That's baffling to me, man.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'll also throw some shade there too, man. But again, but you gotta think, man, even for WWE and their perspective, right? Like, if The Rock is unsure, like, oh, I might show up, I may not. Well, dude, we need a freaking decision, man. Like, either you show up or you don't. Like, we need an answer. Like, and if he's not gonna be there, bro, you got to call a better fucking audible than that too, man. I mean, that's your audible with The Rock fucking not being there. I mean, forget the match being horrible. I mean, again, we knew it was going to be slow paced. Cena's got all of these.
Yeah, it wasn't and I always say it wasn't a horrible match. It wasn't how I expected it to go.
Yeah,
it could have been better.
At least towards the end, it was how it got ugly. Like I even mentioned earlier on, like the slow pace was fine and what it was expected. Yep. But again, middle and towards the end of this match is where it really got ugly. And Travis Scott coming out there and all of the botches, even from Travis Scott pulling the referee out the ring and there was no DQ, to where you're trying to overbook this match. You have the referee taking out guys. This was fucking all over the place, man. Mm-hmm. And this was no fucking better than night 1. And again, man, maybe I'm the schmuck that I thought that maybe night 2 was going to be better. Because fucking A, man, I really don't have any words, man. So, and now we got to rely on the Raw and the SmackDown after WrestleMania to see maybe there's something to look forward to. But good luck now, because
I'll be interested to see what Cena. I imagine is going to have a promo. He's whatever.
Going to probably open up the show. Again, guys, if you're wondering, we're recording this as of Monday Night Raw is going on right now, so we'll talk about that Wednesday. But yeah, man, Monday Night Raw, and let me get to WrestleMania. I'll end it with this: WrestleMania, from the season itself, the build-up, the feuds, the storylines, and the events itself have all sucked. They completely shit the fucking bed. And this is not just an off night. Oh, Triple H had an off night, which is what I'm hearing from people in the wrestling community, which is fucking bullshit.
Man.
This is fucking WrestleMania. Even if it was, bro, like, this is where that's right, I'm talking to you, to where you're paying your hard-earned money to watch this fucking bullshit, right? To where you're paying thousands upon thousands of dollars, and this is the product that you're getting. No, fuck that, and fuck you, Triple H, for telling us to just be a fan, right, instead of being a critic. Well, guess what? Us critics are exposing you of your bullshit, and that's all I'm going to say, man. So,
I'll close out too with a confusing part again. If there's a storyline or if it's not, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it is, but with The Rock specifically, talking about, like, I can't remember what the words he used. Whatever. Like, I'm on chapter 10 or whatever in this whatever, but
Yeah, like I'm 4 steps ahead type of
yeah,
spiel.
something like that, right? To where like, okay, and I'm not discounting would I
Yeah,
ever The Rock's love, passion, whatever, or the families for wrestling.
sure.
But guys, WrestleMania is at the same time every year. Like
Mhm.
we know when WrestleMania is going to be relatively. This is a storyline where The Rock is now the owner of the goddamn company or sits at the board, whatever.
Right.
At some point, if you are going to be involved in this story and you want to be there on WrestleMania, you know when WrestleMania is. I'm sure, with your stature, can make your schedule to be available for WrestleMania. I'm just good. I mean, that's all there is to that, man. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
and
and
that's
listen,
no shade to whatever other commitments. That's great. Go you
right.
do that. That's
Yeah,
fine.
right.
But then
But when it's
don't.
WrestleMania, it's fucking WrestleMania. Your ass has got to fucking be here when you have a storyline that revolves around you, bro. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah,
man? And again, if you're Triple H and executives, bro, like you got to call a better alternative in
yeah.
an
Travis
audible, man.
Scott is not it, dude.
I
Like
mean,
at
seriously.
that
Again, I
point,
didn't
like
even
it's
mind.
seriously at that point, Cena should just. It shouldn't have been overbooked. If your only option was Travis fucking Scott,
Right.
then just have Cena beat him clean.
I mean, yeah, and if
Like,
The Rock and if The Rock was never even going to be participating in this, then why did we turn Cena heel to begin with? Why didn't we just keep him face and have him win that title as a baby face to where
oh,
you could have done Cena and Gunther to where Cena and Gunther is a more entertaining matchup. I'm sorry, guys,
I
but it
think
just is.
so.
I've
Well,
talked about how
Gunther's previous character, who knows what the fuck he's going
pre
to be now? But
yeah,
yeah,
right, exactly, man. Like if this was the plan all along, then why the fuck did we just do the turn to begin with? What was the point of doing the turn in Elimination Chamber, which was the best part of that freaking show? I mean,
yep.
obviously, right? It was been the talk of the wrestling world, shoot, the sports world. And so now if The Rock is not going to be involved, and even if he does come back and he wants to show up whenever he wants to, and he shows up fucking, I don't know, at a freaking Crown Jewel or some shit and Saudi, I don't fucking know. Like it's gonna
It
be
ain't
too
gonna
little
matter.
too
It's
late,
not gonna
bro.
not
You
right.
didn't show
Yeah,
up at the grandest stage of all shows to tell this story.
yeah.
It's fucking, oh my god, man. I just
I
this was
said it
under
before I got on here. Like the ruthless aggression era. I really wasn't watching much. I'm sure I missed a lot of manias. But since I have come back to it, so since about like the Wyatt family, the Shield, this is the worst Mania, man, that I've seen in a long time. Yeah, I mean, just with the anticipation, the storylines across the board, triple threats, fatal four ways. It just none of it, man. I
yeah,
do want to give a shout out to the ones that I think went above and beyond. Bianca, Rhea, and Io,
yeah,
Jade and Naomi,
yeah.
um, who I know I'm forgetting some people, I'm sure. But definitely those, and they were the women. Those five women went out there and fucking killed it,
I'll
man.
give credit to
Um,
Seth, Roman, and Punk, the
so
triple
yes,
threat. I
that
mean,
that was
even
yep,
the
that was a
booking of
great
that
match
made no
too.
sense, but the matchup
Yep,
itself, they all did their thing. And again,
yeah,
even that triple, I've never seen Brian. I've never seen three individuals fight so hard in a match for absolutely no title or nothing to fight for. I said that in the last episode. I'm like, what are we doing, man? This whole entire buildup, guys, has been so
yeah,
fucking piss poor. And the
yep.
events itself, guys,
Oh,
were
shout out to
fucking
Dom
worse.
too.
And
Dom,
Dom,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, guys, so to wrap this all up into a bow, to wrap this up, man. Look, my word for WrestleMania Night 1 was underwhelming, right? It was an underwhelming show. This night, as well as this build, this season, everything about WrestleMania has been horrendous, god awful, the drizzling shits. That's this season, that's this build, that's these storylines, and that is the events itself. They completely shit the fucking bed. What a disappointing WrestleMania. That is going to do it, y'all, for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Of course, make sure you guys stay tuned as we will be talking the Monday Night Raw post WrestleMania. So WrestleMania is technically not done yet because we have the post shows to talk about. We will be talking about that this week, but hopefully you guys enjoyed our review show for night 2, as hopefully you guys enjoyed my solo show for WrestleMania Night 1. Of course, Brian's takes from earlier on in the show of WrestleMania Night 1. And of course, man, as always, you see the banner down below. Make sure you follow Ruthless Talk on Instagram and TikTok. That is Ruthless_Talk. Make sure you guys check us out on all of our platforms. We are available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, as well as on our YouTube channel. You are watching this on YouTube. Subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Deliver it a Batista bomb. Give it a Crossroads. Give it a super kick. Give it 20 super kicks, right? Give it a Bronson Reed tsunami splash. Whatever the fuck you got to do. Smash that subscribe button. Make sure you stay notified for more content and stay notified for more episodes to come. We got WWE Backlash. We got some AEW to talk about recently. AEW put on one of their best Dynamite shows that I've seen in a very long time, by the way, last week. I want to throw that out there. So we will get into AEW Dynamite in the near future, as AEW All In is coming up this summer. So a lot of stuff to talk about AEW. Again, WWE Backlash coming up in St. Louis. We have another roundtable coming up this summer for SummerSlam, of course. We already got some special guests already lined up for that roundtable, and a bunch of special guests in the works for Saturday night's main event for Money in the Bank coming up in June. So there's a lot of shit still happening, even though WrestleMania has come and gone. But once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning into the platform, tuning into our content, man. This has been a lot, man. It's been WrestleMania. A lot of content has been dished out over the last several freaking 48 hours. So we want to appreciate you guys so much for, once again, your support, for viewing, for listening, all of that stuff. And once again, stay tuned for more content coming your way. Brian, your final thoughts, man, before we wrap things up.
I'll close on something positive from WrestleMania weekend, man. Shout out to Lex Luger, induction into the Hall of Fame, man. One of the my early days of wrestling, Four Horsemen, Sting, Luger, lot of great memories from my early days watching Luger. So again, well earned, and shout out to you, my man.
Oh, very well said, man. Much love to Lex Luger, man. Absolutely. Much love to everybody, including, I guess, Triple H himself.
Triple H, Earthquake, Tugboat.
Michelle McCool.
Or no, I guess it was. Or no, because it was a natural disaster. So yes, it was both disasters. Of them.
Yeah. So both of them, exactly. Yep. So yeah, much love to those Hall of Famers. Yes, much love to Lex Luger. So yes, we end things with a positive. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, WrestleMania is officially over, and now it's time for the aftermath on how everything takes place. We'll soon find out. But that is going to do it for today's episode, everybody. My name is James Porcelli.
I'm Bryan Thomas.
Until next time, there will be a next time. Your boys are signing off saying salute.
Peace out.
And take care, everybody. Top guys, we are out.
Out.
Toodles.